Hello, my name is Randy Dobson. I'm an instructor here in the Houston, Texas area, and this video will be covering the array command in Autocad. I will tell you that over the many years I've been using Autocad, the array command, it's not its function, but how it works has changed considerably. I'm not a big advocate of it because it does change a lot between version to version. But just bear with that if you work on a different version than 2018 or 2017, that it's going to be a little bit different. And what array is, it will create objects, multiple objects, just instantaneous. And I just want to put this up here for a second. Um, let's go to array, and you have three. You've got rectangular array, you've got path array, which I'm not going to be going over in this segment, and then you have polar array, which is based on a center point. So let's go with rectangular array. I'm going to pick this object here, and I'm going to hit enter, and as you can see, it just already drew just a default of four columns and three rows. Uh, I can change that. I could say that I want 8 columns, and I could say that I want 20 rows. I hit enter and then enter, and then I'm done. Let's see what I've just drawn from that one square. This is one object. Okay, now with AutoCAD, with the grips, if you click on this, they'll allow you to bring it back down if you want to. You can change the size of it. Now, the one thing that I don't like about the array is when it asks for a distance, and I'm just going to undo. I'm going to go backwards so I can get there. We go. If I go this square, this is a 7-unit square. Okay, and if I wanted to do an array, and I select this, and then I want to go spacing. If I wanted the spacing between the columns, if I wanted them to be 3, I'm going to type in 3 and watch what happens. Okay, what happens is they take the distance, and I'm going to kind of show you here. They take the distance from the center of this object to the center of this object. So to get this actual distance here, you have to know what this distance is and then subtract out. So I know that this is 3.5 and this is 3.5, so that equals 7, but I want 3 feet between them, so I need it to be 10. So I actually have to put in a distance of 10. I'm going to undo this. So I'm going to go to array, rectangular, distance, spacing, and I'm going to put 10. See, now they're 3 apart. This is not 10 apart, it's 10 from the center of this object to the center of this object. That can get confusing if if you have odd spacing that you need. Just understand that to get this, you actually have to go to get the exact dimension from the midpoint of this object to the midpoint of this object. Get that is the distance you need. You can't say, oh, I've drawn this 7 by 7, I want 3 feet, 3 units between them, and I'll just type 3. It will not do that. You have to know that you need 10, and it's the same thing going this way. So that's one of the downfalls of it. Of course, the really nice thing is you can expand it up just by using the grips. I mean, I can take this and take that, and it's a very powerful tool. If you get too many or you want to take some out, then you have to explode it by hitting X enter. Now you're back to having just individual objects. Okay, there's nothing. It's just a bunch of lines. Okay, so once you explode it, it's exploded. Again, it's a nice tool. Now, with the other part of array, you have polar, which goes around a circle. Now this it really helps if you can do some basic math with a circle. We know that a circle is 360 degrees. Okay, every quadrant is 90 degrees. So if I wanted, if I needed to put 6 of these on here, I could go to array polar. It's going to ask for the center. It wants to know the center, so I'm going to type CN because I want the center of the circle. Oops, let me. I think I still had my boxes done there. Let me start over again. Array polar. Select my object. I'm going to select this circle. Hit enter. It wants the center part. I want it to go around here, and see right there it defaults to 6 objects. Now, if you know your math, what would be the angles between each one of these circles? Well, if there's 6 of them and a circle's 360, 360 divided by 6 is 60 degrees. If you wanted it to be to where it was 40 degrees between them, you would come down and say items and change it to 9. Now there's 40 degrees between each one of these because 9 into 360 is 40. Okay, again, this is just some basic math. If you wanted it at each quadrant, then you would just type in items of 4, and that puts it there. If you wanted them at the 45s, okay, that would be halfway, so you'd need twice as many. So you go items of 8, and there you have it. Okay, you hit enter and you're done, and you've drawn them just that quick. But again, understanding that a circle is 360 degrees, half of one is 180, and so on. If you wanted to put them 10 degrees between each one, you would have 36 objects because 10 into 360 is 36. It's helpful to know some of this basic things just to speed you along as you progress in your career. For these courses, I'm not that concerned with speed. I'm more concerned with you completing the assignment. But you may use array if you want to. I've got this right here. If I want to put one at each quadrant, I could just, instead of doing the array, I could go copy, and I could just type in QUA as my base point, and then type QUA again, QUA again, and then QUA again. Okay. Now, if I need to get into the more detailed angles, then I would go to array. But something like this, I could do fairly simple. Again, with here, the spacing is much easier because you're working within the confines of the 360 degrees. But over here, remember that when you're using rectangular, that the spacing is not. This is not the spacing. The spacing is the center of the object. Hopefully one day AutoCAD will change it to this and make life a lot easier for many of us. But for now, it is from the center of each object is actually the spacing. And that concludes my video on array. Thank you.